Hello YouTubers. Okay, it is the most perfect day to take the first flight finally. It's a Monday. The wind is less than 5 miles an hour. It's a beautiful blue sky. Not much traffic. It's a holiday here. And I went through all the stuff. Checked out the plane yesterday. Made sure everything was working, and I didn't test the radios, but so I'm out here today. As you can see, the airplane is not tied down in its normal position because I was all in it, ready to do that momentous first flight. And when I turned the communication radio on, it came on and then went right back off, even though it has an external power supply along with supposedly a battery pack inside it. And what appears to have happened is somehow the battery bank has gone dead, and the radio was either trying to charge it up or work past it or something. But I sat for a little while in the tie down spot with the engine running just to see what would happen, and it looked like the external power source, now that the plane was running, was working, and radio was staying on. And so I thought that's good enough. I mean, I do have the spare radio, even though it's not really hooked up communication wise. I do have it, but so I thought, well, okay. So then I started to taxi out to the runway, and I thought, well, might be a good idea to just break in the brakes a little bit. It's been a while since the airplane's actually moved, and so I can try out the new rudder cables, blah, blah, blah. And so I taxied around the ramp, made about 5 or 6 circles to the left and to the right. And during that time, the radio was actually going off and on at least 6 times while I was taxiing. So it was like just not functioning correctly, and I just can't go up in the air. My communication radio is going to be in and out, because every time it goes out I have to punch a couple buttons to bring it back up online to the right frequency. And so today is another scrub day. I'm going to have to take the radio home, change the batteries in the power pack, clean the connections where it plugs in for its alternate power, and basically screwed today. I'm disappointed. I guess there'll be other days, but I just can't go up with the radio doing what it's doing. And I've got enough things to worry about, be watching rather than having to fuck with the radio. So anyway, here we are again. There's a couple days maybe this week that I might be able to come out here tomorrow. The wind is supposed to come up. Unfortunately, even though it's a holiday, I have other things I have to do this morning, so I can't really come out. I might see what it looks like after 5 or something like that, but it's drained my adrenaline for sure. I was all hyped up, ready to roll down that runway until the radio's just screwed up. So anyway, I mean, if I was in a desperate situation, I'd switch the radios from one to the other, because the other radio turned on and it was just fine. It's possible when I left the radio on accidentally the last time I flew, or didn't fly, should I say, because when you turn the radio master switch off, you have to turn the radio off individually the way it's hooked up. And I may have missed that. Checklist, checklist. So anyway, it has cost me the morning, and here I am backing out again. I have good reason, but it's starting to wear on me. So nothing wrong with the airplane, other than a little radio, but in my environment here, I mean, if I was out in the bushes someplace, I'd go flying, because you don't have to talk to anybody. But here, you need to talk to them because they need to know where you are, and they give you permission to land, etc., etc. It's not a radar environment, which it was. I'd still have to talk to them. So anyway, even have my flying hat on, as you can see. So got my flying sunglasses. These are nice special sunglasses. They're actually bifocal on the bottom, so I can read the instruments more accurately as I'm still flying, and I don't have to strain my eyes any. But anyway, I'm going to put the airplane back away, do something with the radio, get it fixed, figure out what's going on. I think I know that the battery pack is probably gone totally dead, and its system is trying to initiate everything and just not doing what it's doing, probably what it's supposed to do, but it's not going to be sufficient for me to fly. So another day, another disappointment. I guess another feather in my chicken cap. But anyway, that's what it is, what it is. Alright, take care. Hello YouTubers, I'm just back from the airport after a disappointing morning, and after thinking about it for a little while, the way those radios are powered up off of the airplane is I have like 4 different radios. There's the Dynan D3, there's the GPS, and the 2 comm radios. And they all had adapters that were normally made to go into like a cigarette lighter. And in those adapters was the voltage regulator to step it down so it would work for the radio, etc., off the 12 volts of the airplane. At the time when I was building, the simplest way to do that was that I ordered a multi-gang receptacle that all 4 of those adapters could plug into. So it's kind of like 4 cigarette lighter receptacles all in one unit. I had taken wire ties and tied, secured each adapter into the hole that it went into, but the connection was very much a friction type connection. And I have a feeling that the comm radio power, it was coming on and off while I was taxiing around and bouncing the airplane around, and I think that connection is not really good. And I just couldn't see myself leaving the radio on, because it's something I usually turn off right away. But if the airplane the whole time had like a spotty connection, and the radio was off and on using its batteries, I've actually put enough time on it to make those batteries probably run down, and it's kind of been running off the batteries more than the airplane. Short fix or long fix for the thing is I'm going to have to go into the airplane, pull that multi-adapter thing down, and basically hardwire, take the little plugs for the adapters apart, hardwire everything so that none of the connections can come loose again. So it's one of those little things, like you do it and you think, oh, that's going to work great, and then it's one of those gotchas later on, but it's better. I mean, every time I find something wrong with the airplane or something that I don't really care for and want to modify it to make it better, I'm really happy that I'm finding it out on the ground rather than me in the air. But today it cost me a very good day of flying, and if my assumption is correct, which I think it is, because the other radio had plenty of, it pulled its plug and it's had plenty of airplane power. So I think the one connector has either come loose or corroded or whatever, but it's one of those things that just needs to be fixed. And it's going to take probably a good day to go up under the instrument panel, pull all that down, take all those pieces apart, wire them up like they're supposed to be with soldering iron and all that kind of stuff, especially out of the ramp. I do have a 12-volt soldering iron, so it should be all right, but I'm just not going to be able to fly today, even though I would like to try, like later on this afternoon, but I'm not going to do it with that type of thing going on. It's just going to get fixed before I fly. So there you have it. I think I'm right. We'll find out. I'm going to go out there later with all the tools and stuff and see if I can get it done today, because tomorrow might be a reasonable day. But anyway, that's where we are today. So I think I had the problem solved, but it's a problem that probably shouldn't have happened, but at the time of building the airplane, it seemed a viable solution, but obviously it's come back to haunt me. So I'm going to make it so it can't do that again. All right, take care.